What is good, my people? It's your boy Denzel FX, and today we're back again with the pre-market analysis. So today we're just going to take a look at two pairs. Our favorite pair, NASDAQ, better known as NAS100, or better known also as US100, and also my second favorite pair, US30. But first things first, we're going to dive into NASDAQ here since we already have it open, and just see what I see and just show you my bias. So starting off from the daily, we can see that we are in a clear bullish uptrend at the moment here. There's no denying that bullish trend up here. As you can see, we have been uptrending since, May, maybe even going back to March. And if I scale out once more, we can see that this move has been, oh my god, this has been uptrending for a long time. The last high was literally last year, and the last low was literally not last year, 19th of March, and we're still pushing to the upside. So at the moment here, for my bias this week, it is a bit of a 50-50 thing. As you can see here, we do have an uptrend. We can't classify this as a false break of structure. As you can see here, we're still in that range of support with that trend line there, but since it's broken that, it's been invalid for now. But what I can see here from a daily point of view, price had made a new high over here, as you can see. So my next thought process would be, I'm expecting price to basically come back correctively to this zone over here and continue pushing to the upside to continue the uptrend. That's just in the daily. On top of that, what's helping me with this support here would be the fact that we can see that price has been decelerating for 1, 2, 3, for pretty much 4 days. Price has not, made any new highs and new lows. It's just been ranging in this market over here for the past 4 or 5 days. So now that we have understood that on the daily, that price may be looking to reverse to the downside to continue going up. That's one thing. A second thing, price may actually just shoot up to the upside, come back, retest this zone, and keep pushing to the upside. So those are two biases we have here, but for now we just have to remain patient and see what happens next. So diving into the 4 hour, this is when things get a little bit interesting. So for myself here, I had drawn a daily fib from the last higher low to the new higher high, so we can find our point of entry. And this right here, this gray zone, will be a nice point of entry for us to actually enter for a long somewhere around here to just shoot back to the upside. Okay, so with that being said, what we see here is it's a pattern that plays out from time to time. So this is an impulse, then it's correcting with the trend. So usually 9 times out of 10, when price impulses and corrects with the trend, it then breaks this retest and pushes back to the beginning of correction to take us back to the upside. So that's one thing I'm seeing over here when it comes to that there. As you can see, we've got that impulse, now it's correcting with the trend. So my next move would be for price to drop to the downside. But I do see something else. If I scale it a little bit further here, I can't see, 2 hour time frame. Right. So if the price does not push to the downside there, my second bias would be, I would actually expect price to, as you can see here, we've got some sort of a pennant or a triangle that's formed over here. So the next thing for me would actually be, if price was to obviously it's made a new high here scaling in, I wouldn't be surprised if price came back to this region here. As you can see, it made a new high. It violated the last here, so it made a new high. I wouldn't be surprised if price came, shot up here, and then push to the downside. Second scenario would be push up, retest, up again, and gone to the daily take profit. So that's that on the 2 hour. Even on the 4 hour, you can see something similar there. It's even more clear on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, yeah, we can see that price had made a new high. Right now here, it is showing signs of rejection on this level of resistance here, which is actually another reason why I am certain that price will drop to the downside. But at the same time, like, we cannot control the market. You get me? So the fact that we are expecting price to drop down, do not be surprised for a push to the upside also, because on the daily it is pushing to the upside and it's been uptrending. So that's what we have there on NASDAQ, you know. So we'll see what happens during the week with this index here, but it's looking very, very, very promising from where it's coming to where it's going. So on this 4 hour, we have a short. The pattern is impulse, correction with the trend. And here we can see maybe a cheeky M forming to go to the upside and maybe resist over here and push to the downside. But on the daily, we are looking extremely, extremely bullish. Okay, my people, that is NAS100, NASDAQ. Next up, we're going to take a look at US30 and see exactly what is going on. Okay, so US30 is showing us something very, very similar as well. We'll just go back to the daily first, then we'll go from there. So on a daily point of view, we are in a clear uptrend. Every time price approaches the trend line, pushes to the upside, pushes to the upside, it pushes, it pushes, it pushes. So we know that we are in a clear uptrend, and also, you know what to say, the trend is your friend. So what I'm expecting here is quite simple. Price had impulse to the downside, then impulse back, and it's starting to move correctly with the trend. So we are expecting price to drop soon to the beginning of correction. If it's not going to drop at the level it's at right now, what I do see would be price to impulse again, correct with to that very same point of where it began, then push back to the downside. Okay, so as you can see here, I have left notes as well. So we do expect price to maybe, we are expecting price, so what I said here, price may come to this level to form a double top, then drop with a big sell-off. So that's what we see here, impulse, correction with the trend. Maybe it's going to push up here and then drop to the downside. But if we scale in, we do see that it's most likely finished, so we are expecting a move to the downside. But reason being we are expecting a move to the downside is because we are expecting price to drop here to the first level here, which is that green line, which is a nice level of supply and demand. When price broke that, it didn't come back to retest. So that is my reason of believing that price will drop back down here, which is also in nice alliance with that trend line pushing to the upside. So like I said here, we are expecting price to come back to this level. So my people, let's scale in a little bit further into the 4 hour and see what's going on. Right, so on the 4 hour, it's clear as day what's really happening, you know. So we did have that impulse to the downside. Price had, you know, on this level here, it decelerated nicely to form a nice double bottom to push to the upside. So now at the level that we're at here, you can see there was multiple touches on the trend line at the top. You know, there was too many. But if I want to break it down, we had 1 space, 2 space, 3. Okay, so with that being said, that is a nice third touch, which is ready for price to push it to the downside. Now, with that being said, we are ready for price to push to the downside. I'm expecting price to come to this level here, the 35,450 region. Reason being, I'll show you now on the 1 hour. So, on the 1 hour, it's quite simple what's actually happening. So, we have the impulse here. Price had impulse to the downside, as you can see, bang, and now it's moving correctively back to this level of resistance to continue pushing to the downside. But it looks better on the 30 minutes, so I will scale it further to show you exactly what's going on there. Yep, so here we are now on the 30-minute time frame. Hold on, my people, I need to get my charger. Okay. We're back. Okay. As you can see on the 30-minute, price had pushed to the downside there, but it did break these levels of support. It broke, but look, it came back to retest, push to the upside. So now we are expecting some sort of channel like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Expecting price to come to this region to push to the downside. On the bigger time frame, that is when price comes and retests this zone over here. Yeah, so for the analysis for US30, it is quite simple for me, from what I can see here. It is a clear short, but like I said, it all depends on what's going to happen during the week. We cannot control the markets, we can only control our emotions. So with that being said, as you can see here, the impulse correction width, I do believe it's done with the correction, that the bears are going to start fully kicking in, because each time the bulls are coming, the bears are just here showing that they're present at that level. Price may come to this region here, it may, but if it does, we are like expecting a huge sell-off, because that is a nice point of resistance right there, but from where it's at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if it just sold off. But we got to play the patience game, and this is all about picking out the most high probability setups. Don't get caught on the wrong side of the market. You need to be caught in the right side of the market. How do you do this? You do this by being patient, being consistent, and just knowing when to enter a trade. Do not enter because it looks nice at that moment in time. You need to enter when it is when it's at its highest point of probability. Right now here, where the level it's at, I could enter that to take me to the upside, but the probability of that is it's not that high for me to actually push the upside, as the market is closed and everything there. So when the market opens, there could be a gap and it could just shoot to the downside. So I will just be catching a falling knife and I won't be ready for that. But for me, a high probability setup would be for price to come to this zone over here and push to the downside. Second high probability setup would be to come to this level of resistance and then shoot back to the downside. So it's just all about being in stealth mode. So just be ready, have a neutral bias. If price comes here, I'm looking for a long. So either way, you have to be ready in the market, So for my people, that is it from me. It's your boy Denzel Effect. So quick recap, NAS100, we're looking to go short and see exactly what price is saying, because on the daily, it is looking quite promising. And here for US30, it is looking promising again. We are looking to go short. So with that being said, my people, we're out of the building. Let there be peace in the Middle East, and let my brothers and sisters be safe. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.